Hey, this is Anthony Cesari with SuccessForYourSongs.com, and in this video we're going to be talking about writing melodies within a particular section of your song. So for example, we're going to be looking at how to write the melodies for a verse or for a chorus. Specifically, in past videos we've talked about how to create contrast between the sections of your songs. For example, how your melodies go from your verses to your choruses. But for this one, we're going to look at how to write melodies within a section. So I'm going to be playing a clip for you of an interview I did with Shane Adams of ArtistAccelerator.com. So check that out here. Part of what we touched on a little bit here, and I know we've talked about it more in the past, is the idea of creating contrast with your melodies from section to section.
Absolutely,
and, like you said, using different notes here from one section to the other. What about when you're creating the melodies for a specific section? So let's say you're just writing the verse melody. How do you think about, from one motif to the next? Are you typically just repeating that melodic motif over and over, or are you changing it? Like, how are you thinking about that in your chorus alone, and then in your verse on its own as well?
Oh man, that's a really good question. Let me start off by acknowledging a common pitfall that a lot of songwriters do subconsciously. That again, I've seen 1,000. Not figurative, like literally, I've seen this happen 1,000 times. Songwriters are so afraid of boring their listener that they feel like, oh, I need to keep doing something new either in every line. And usually what they do is they will go 2 lines. They feel comfortable with repetition for 2 lines, and then, oh, I need to do something different in the next 2 lines. And so like the first 2 lines melodically in their verse, so lines 1 and 2 of the verse, very similar. Then lines 3 and 4, something new. And then let's say they have a pre-chorus, like those next 2 lines are different. And then your chorus, those 2 lines are different. Lines 1 and 2 of the chorus, and lines 3 and 4 are also different. And so you have this constant changing, and it becomes a mismatch of all these new ideas. And individually, those might be brilliant melodic moments, but over the course, there's nothing for there's no common theme for the listener to hold on to, and so I actually use a technique that I call 3-in-1, where I will repeat, like lines 1, 2, and 3 will be similar, and then line 4 will be different. Because what happens is I'm banking on the expectations of my listener. So let's say so line 1 is the same, line 2 is the same. Okay, line 3 is the same. You automatically expect line 4 to be the same. And if I do something different, it stands out simply for the fact that I'm going against the expectation of my listener. So I tend to do that a lot in my in my verses.
Which is a great way to highlight that line too.
Oh yeah. It really gives strength to that last line. The other way I'll do it is I'll do pairings. I'll alternate. So we'll say, okay, the way I just described, we'll say apple, 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 orange. The orange, like you're expecting an apple, but you get an orange. The other thing I'll do is I'll do apple, orange, orange. Where lines 1 and 3 melodically are very similar. And lines 2 and 4 are very similar. Or apple, orange, apple, apple, which is a subtler effect from that first one, because it's apple, orange, apple. You expect the orange, but you give them something similar, and that's how I typically will break up my sections.
Yeah, and that makes sense, because if you think about it, you're thinking about it as a whole section that way, as opposed to apple, apple, orange, orange, which was right. You say what a lot of songwriters do. Now all of a sudden that feels like 2 different sections within a section, but when you start to interweave them, then it starts to feel like a full section, even though maybe the melodic line is different from line to line.
That's exactly correct.
And I think another thing that you can think about when you're writing melodies in that way, you can, like we said, if you did 3 of the same line, or the same melodic line, and then you did a 4th line that's totally different, and that highlights that fourth line because of its difference. You can sort of even accelerate that idea and turn it up even more by, let's say, those first three lines had the same rhyme, and then the fourth one doesn't rhyme with them. Like now all of a sudden that fourth line gets highlighted even more because of what if you're doing lyrically, or maybe that line is longer lyrically, it has more syllables or something.
Yeah, so let's say we have, let's see. So sorry, say 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, like you have that, you know, you're kind of expecting that the last time.
Anything you want to plug, your website or anything like that before we sign off here?
Yeah. Check out artistaccelerator.com. You know, I'm happy. I do coaching for song coaching. You can contact me through Artist Accelerator. Happy to help you with your songs. And when I do song coaching, I do not take writing credit.
All right, so I hope that helps you out. If you're looking for more melody writing information, I've got a great resource for you right below this video. So click the link there for that. I've also got a link for Shane's website, which is artistaccelerator.com. So check that out as well. Thanks again for checking out this video. I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.